Little coop on the bed. What's up, pea freaks?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna find one that zips.
A silk pillowcase that zips.
Somebody invent it.
New pod idea.
It doesn't have to zip. You could
Shark
button
Tank.
it, or it could
There are
have
ones
it
with
could have a
buttons.
little extra flap that goes over and then comes over, so it's like wrapped.
You could just take one of these little Velcro squares.
They don't stick to fabric very well.
Yeah. Got hot glue it.
But then you gotta be able to take it off. You hot glue the zipper, the Velcro.
Yeah, don't hot glue the case closed.
That's kind of what I
just wash the pillow.
That's what I was picturing you saying.
Yes,
I was like, but then you can't wash it.
I do every night before I go to bed. I put a new layer of hot glue on my top sheet to keep it from
I feel like,
off.
There's fabric glue, but I feel like you'd have to sew the Velcro patches.
Yeah. Which I feel like can't be that hard.
No.
If it's really a big issue.
Well, I do feel like I don't think it would be that hard, but I do think it would look bad.
Yeah.
And it's like, especially as I've gotten older, not everything can just be function. You got to have things look nice too.
Wow, this is big for you.
This is remember every step of the way, like for years we had an apartment with literally nothing on the walls.
Yeah.
And then we hung up like 2 pictures and we were like, oh my God.
I feel like I would always do something new right before I moved out of an apartment.
Yeah.
And then I'd go into the next one being like, put up 2 posters. Put up the shelf. Don't buy a shelf and let it sit in your closet for 8 months.
Yeah.
Just put it up. You'll have so much space. But
yeah,
you're like,
I understand like aesthetically pleasing. And I'm not saying it can't be like fun. It doesn't have to be like
I just mean I got
an alligator head.
I just mean with you and gifts is like function over everything. Like,
well, because gifts, I don't want something you picked out that I don't like sitting on a shelf for no fucking reason.
Cool, you are freaking crazy, dude.
What's up? There you go.
All the little moles on his butt kind of revolve around his beehole like this, like a solar system. I think that one's Pluto. Oh, yeah, he doesn't know what the hell he wants. He looks dapper, though.
But yeah, I definitely feel like you have to pick out your own aesthetically pleasing things. I mean, look what you've started doing. You have 2 anime.
Yeah.
What do you call those, statues?
Yeah, I don't know. Figure. Yeah, they're
not
on
a base. That's why I call them a statue.
They're like plastic or maybe resin. I don't know. Yeah, I'd say like a figurine or a figure. Like a figure. I guess a figurine would be small.
So funny. Here's what I feel like is going to adapt here. You have this one shelf. And so you do have some aesthetics, but they're all on that shelf. So really, in different parts, like say you had a bigger apartment. Obviously, this is like your room. But if you had a bigger apartment, then your bowling pins would be somewhere. Your duck shelf would duck lamp would maybe be next to the couch, and then maybe the 2 statues are like on a shelf.
We've really I have thought about little like single shelves for each bowling pin, but we've kind of moved around in the studio in here, figuring out which angle works best for.
What would be cool is like a floating shelf right over the door that you put them on.
Above the door.
Yeah. So I think it would be like, the shelf would be like flush to the door frame.
And that'd be cool.
And then you would have the bowling pins. And it doesn't have to be big, it just has to fit the bowling pins.
Sure.
Just like a display shelf. But yeah, right now, I mean, on these walls, you just got one thing on each wall, which is kind of funny. But I do think these soundproof things look really nice.
It makes it look like there's stuff on the wall. Texture.
These.
Yeah, I like these.
I do think they're cool though that those ones are white.
Those ones are bad, but
yeah, that one I'm just like can't believe it hasn't fallen down.
Yeah, not even a square, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, work in progress though. You adapt.
Yeah, Well, once I know if we're re-signing, maybe I'll do some of these things. Yeah, my shelf that gets progressively more unfuckable. It's like, all right, vintage duck lamp and some bowling pins, okay. And then they're like, all right, couple little anime things. Oh, nice picture of a dog. And then they're like, okay, 2 slinkies. Okay, 8
Yeah.
One Piece books. What is that, an urn?
Are these your dog's ashes?
He hasn't put a picture in it. This is the saddest shelf of all time. I like it.
There was a guy on that show, Tool Academy. I feel like when people love bowling, I always talk about this show. Because Tool Academy, literally, I tried to look for it because at one point in maybe 2018, I did buy it so that I could make the roommates I had at the time watch it. And what it was a show on VH1 where these absolute fucking douchebag boyfriends were all put on this show, and it was called Tool Academy, and so they were like learning to be better boyfriends. And it's just such a funny concept because literally what they're doing is they're doing these challenges where the challenge is to work as a team with your significant other.
Yeah.
You're putting together a shelving unit. You're like
Right.
like problem solving regular ass life shit. And then you do that to win a date, and these people cannot keep it together. They're like yelling at each other. They're not putting the shelf together. They're breaking the shelf because they're getting so mad. It's like so ridiculous. But the way that they got him to the show, obviously, how much of these shows are real, I don't know, but these guys did seem surprised, and they were idiots, but they did seem surprised. They bring him to this place. They think they're in this thing called the Mr. Wonderful contest. And so then they bring him out. They have a crowd there. They bring him out and they talk about themselves, and they like say things they're into. And there's this one really tiny dude who has like Jersey Shore hair. All of that to say this. And he comes out and he has his shirt open. And he's so small. He looks like a 12-year-old, just the body type. He's holding a bowling ball. The bowling ball is so fucking big in his arms because he's so tiny. And then he goes out there, and his big brag is that he's a good bowler, and he's like pretending to roll the ball. And that's his like beauty pageant Mr. Wonderful contest.
That guy doesn't sound like a tool at all to me. That sounds cool as hell.
And then they go to find out who the winner of Mr. Wonderful is, and the announcer's like, actually, guys, there is no Mr. Wonderful. And the backdrop like falls back or something. It's something new. You're in Tool Academy and your girlfriends brought you here. And then all the girlfriends walk out and the crowd is like gone and everyone's like, what?
What? There's no way they didn't know, but also
are so stupid that they maybe forgot.
Imagine how many people, if they did set them up like that, imagine how many people they told in their life, yeah, bro, this is the weekend. I'm going to do Mr. Wonderful.
At one point, this guy...
Yeah, I got nominated for Mr. Wonderful. Must have been that broad I saw down at the bookstore when I was breaking the window. I was just so pissed off about the bakery next door.
Breaking the window. Okay, this guy.
Bakery next door ran out of my cannolis.
This is just the top of the guy's head. Okay, this is.
Oh yeah.
Zoom into it there if you want to see that. It's highlighted. He has like mutton chops that are like cut.
Yeah.
Halfway through the show, they're like, this guy's there with a girlfriend, and halfway through the show, another girlfriend shows up and was like, I've been dating this dude. Like, the girl's been with him for like 6 years.
Yeah.
And this other girl comes in and is like, I've been dating him for 7 years.
Oh my
and
God.
They're like, what? And she comes in, and then basically they make the guy choose, and he's like, well, I have been dating her longer. And then she comes on and finishes out the season.
Oh my God, they kicked the other girl off. How did she lose? Man, imagine these tools.
Imagine being in love with one of
having
these
two
tools.
girlfriends fight over you. And here I am, strong family background, strong family ties, passions for toys and cartoons. No girls fighting over me.
Wow, there's an ad that says Tool Academy 3. Meet the first lesbian tool.
Oh, wow. Speaking of stuff, that's kind of something that you liked that everyone hated. Tool Academy.
Tool Academy. You know what, though? I feel like that was back when, now reality shows, I can watch reality shows, but it's like just people living their lives. It's like, I want to watch reality shows like MasterChef. But then people literally watch, competitions. That's what Tool Academy is. It's like a competition, and they're being so mean to these people. But it's like, I feel like sometimes people who watch trash, people who watch like the Kardashians. I'll say I love MasterChef, and I'll be like, MasterChef Kids is so impressive, and they'll be like, you know that they're showing them how to do that stuff before they do it. And it's like, yeah, well, you could show me how to do it, and I wouldn't be able to repeat it.
I know. Oh my God, wait. They had to learn a recipe to cook? Yeah. Everyone fucking had to learn it once.
It's like, this kid is 8 years old. Okay? He frosted this cake to perfection.
They're like, Gordon Ramsay invented chickens just to make a cordon bleu. And these kids got to get showed how to cook a cake, a 17-layer cake. They had to get shown.
That's why I hate shows like Nailed It or something where it's like people are messing it up, and it's like, it's what everyone's doing. This isn't fun to watch. I could do that.
I think Anthony Bourdain, I heard that when he was 2, they put him out on a stump with a frying pan, left him out there for 2 years. Then he won MasterChef. Anyway.
Did he win MasterChef? I feel like I would have remembered that.
I don't think that they...
What? I don't know everyone's backstory.
Yeah, that's how Anthony Bourdain got big, won the first season of MasterChef.
I'd believe it.
Yeah. All right. That is, reality TV has to be a competition or else you're fucking sick in the head.
I mean, Eliza Schlesinger was one of the biggest female comics, and she won Last Comic Standing or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that how she got it? Is that...
I don't even know if she won, but she's on it.
Ah.
She was one of the finalists. I think she did win.
Anyways, there's something...
So it works for some people.
You have you just gotta be on there. Clay Aiken had an okay career, and he didn't win.
Was he that guy from SNL? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. There's been huge actors that I didn't know were on this. I'll be like, wow, he was on SNL first, and people are like, oh, duh. I'm like, okay, God, sorry.
Whoa.
I didn't watch it in '79.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not watching the golden years. My golden years are Andy Samberg.
I don't watch it now. And honestly, if it's a good enough sketch, I'll watch it on YouTube. I'll never watch the show. Yeah,
now SNL's actually at its peak again right now because
the world's falling apart.
Because truly, well, we only want a sketch that's like a 1 to 2 minute long joke.
Yeah.
And SNL is an hour and 45 minutes at night, and it's about 70 minutes of that is commercials. And then most sketches...
Is it a 2-hour show?
I think it's an hour and a half.
Wow, I guess
But the commercials are so often and so long, and then you get to a sketch, and they'll have a good joke, and then they beat it to fucking death for 8 minutes. 8 minutes is too long for a sketch. You have to do fast, short, 2 to 4. 4 maximum. You got the joke out in 3. We don't need you doing the joke 17 more times. It's not funny anymore. But now, since everything has to be a clip, it's tightening up. It's great.
Well, that's why you just don't have to watch the show. You can just watch the clip.
Yeah, you just get clips on Instagram. And you don't have to watch the show.
You know what? Sometimes I've tried to watch the highlight. Remember we tried to watch highlight reels of like some of the SNL sketches, and the highlight reel, it was like, remember this funny thing, and it cut off the sketch and just did the like funny line.
It was 10 minutes of SNL characters breaking. But it was literally just them laughing. You didn't see the context.
Right, it wasn't the sketch. You don't know what they were laughing at. Yeah.
All right. So here at 2Ps, where we defend things that we like, that everyone hates. Georgia, what do you have for us today?
Today, I'm embarrassed to say, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to say something broader, and then I'm going to say what it actually is. I do not mind when they put laugh tracks on TV shows.
Okay.
When you are watching TV mindlessly, I feel like I will giggle out loud sometimes. It's almost like they remind me, like, ah.
You like give it up for them? Oh, yeah, that was good.
All of that to say, while I have not watched it in a long time, I know that it's over now.
Oh my God, are you going to say you like 2.5 Men?
I liked The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, shit. I couldn't even have seen this coming. I'm going to try to put one in right there.
I thought, yeah, I mean, I didn't mind the characters. I liked that, Sheldon, the weird guy, and then the girl that he dated.
Yeah.
And I like Kaylee Cuoco, whatever her last name is.
Is that the girl he dated?
That's the pretty girl.
The blonde chick?
Yeah. Sheldon didn't date her.
Oh, Sheldon dated a different...
that other, like, Milam.
Right. The main guy dated the blonde girl.
Yeah, I guess there's I think there's 4 main guys. I haven't watched it in a long time, but yeah, I did like it back in the day.
Wow,
I didn't keep up with it forever
Theory.
because I didn't keep up with anything, but...
Yeah, so is it because shows used to really have a live studio audience, right?
Yeah, right? That's what I thought they were replacing.
Seinfeld, I think, had a real studio audience.
Yeah.
And they probably were told to laugh and whatnot, but...
Well, isn't that the whole thing, that they would have the light thing and it said where to applause and where to laugh?
But that's always such a trope that I'm like, I don't know how often that was real, or if that was just like a device.
Well, I think for a long time it was real. Because people, they used to say that. They were filmed in front of a live studio audience. Right,
it used to, in the intro.
And I think soap operas still do.
Really?
Because I guess I only think that because I think so. I'm going to look it up. I only think that, though, because soap operas, they don't do takes. So to be a soap actor is really challenging. You got to know all your lines because they just film it.
Yeah.
I don't think they're doing a bunch of takes.
Wow, okay. That would be wild. Soap operas just look so, and TV's got so graphic that everything looks like a soap opera. You have to turn the graphics down on a TV so it doesn't look like it's too fake. Yeah, wow, that's yeah, so is this live studio audience, and then as soon as they were that, if you think about it, that was the first job replaced by AI. Was the live studio audience.
Yeah.
As soon as they could be we can just insert laughs. We don't need you guys to be here.
So they are not anymore filmed live.
Soap operas?
Yeah.
Since
this does say soap operas were originally broadcast live from the studio, creating what many at the time regarded as a feeling similar to that of a stage play. So that's what it would be, filmed live, and it was you followed them to each, and it was just a continuous. Let's see. Oh, by the 1970s. Okay. Had transitioned to being taped.
Yeah, until there was no recording device it went to.
So I guess I just thought that.
Damn. Yeah, Big Bang Theory, I mean, how many seasons did it run? It was the most popular show.
It was a hugely popular show, and I remember people complaining. I even feel like on the podcast I listened to, it was like a running joke about them, about it
Yeah.
being so bad. And then they did like Little Shelton or Kid Shelton or something.
Yeah. Young Sheldon.
Yeah, young Sheldon, not Shelton. Sheldon.
Shetland pony. Young Shetland is that's a farm show.
Let's see. So it had
fist horses.
It has. Does it tell you? Oh.
Yeah, people love that neurodivergent character. They hit right at the right time. It moved right from 2.5 Men to Big Bang Theory.
Well, and
where they're like, we want like a degenerate. We want a guy who's like, who we know actually in real life was all fucked up from drugs and ruining his life. Now let's see him do it in a kind of funny setting, redemption. And then he went crazy. And then they're like, maybe let's do nerds.
The Big Bang Theory was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Wow. So it's not a laugh track.
The Big Bang Theory was filmed in front of a live studio audience, which meant the cast performed in front of an audience that was watching the show in real time. Tapings for the show could take over 3 hours per episode.
Wow.
So I bet they do have that thing that says laugh.
A taping could take 3 hours because they're changing sets and
maybe bloopers
and outtakes. Whoa. That's kind of cool. I mean, I'm not going to watch Big Bang Theory now, but I definitely watched...
I thought it was funny, though. Something that people would, like, be mad about was, like, the science was wrong.
Really?
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, is the science wrong? I don't fucking know.
I don't know, yeah.
What?
I think the bit is that this chick is around all these guys who are doing science. I don't think
the science has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, it's not... Everyone's like, Futurama actually created an equation that was scientifically proven it to be accurate. And it was like, all right, but...
And so are you saying neurodivergent, that he's autistic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
Is he definitely autistic?
Whatever the thing with Sheldon is, where he doesn't get social cues and he's awkward and he's rude because he doesn't really understand.
Okay, I guess so that would be like Asperger's, where you don't get the social... Okay, I see that.
I think neurodivergent is like a huge umbrella term.
Yeah.
That is like anything that's like in spectrum-y.
Okay.
And that was definitely which is funny, I guess, because it's like biggest show in America and people are like in Nebraska still, yeah, gotta get into it, but autism, oh, that ain't real. It's like favorite character on TV. It's just like, obviously... is Elon Musk. Essentially, Elon Musk is Sheldon Brown. He was bad.
I mean, yeah, if only Elon Musk just liked, like, action figures.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, have you watched all of it?
I haven't watched all of it, but when it was on, I would watch it. I did like it. And
I
find myself giggling at TV shows. Because I love, like, that's why people's friends think they're so funny. They'll be like, this guy should do stand-up. And it's like, this guy's really funny in, like, a conversation or a situation. And I do think that to be able to... I mean, it would be so easy to, like, if you could just set up the situation to then nail the joke. It's like, we're always doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I do feel like I laugh at TV shows quite a bit because, I mean, it's like, that is my favorite type of bit. It's like a life.
I'm not against... that was like not a timed... When was that? Like, we weren't still living at
Big Bang Theory was 2007 to 2019.
Oh, okay. So it was yeah, I guess if you were like at home and had a TV that you could turn on.
I used to watch reruns.
Yeah.
If I I love watching the TV in a hotel because it's just like old TV. It's like you don't get a pick.
I
would
love
watch
hotel
it on there.
TV. I love hotel TV. It's so
if Law and Order SVU wasn't on, I'd watch Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I never and you know what? I guess it's just like Everyone did hate on it. I mean, I hate on it. When I see clips of Two and a Half Men sometimes. In Big Bang
I also
Theory,
laughed at that show.
I'm just like, yeah, I can't do it. I already don't like actors, so when they're in these scenarios or they're like, what a blah 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 blah, and then it's like, oh, the laughter comes in. It's like blah 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 blah. It's like, oh, and you're just like, oh my god, it's like it literally could be no words. I think that's like the biggest. I think that's like the biggest thing against the sitcoms like that is like it's almost like a pacing over like a what they're saying. It's like you just know when to laugh. That's people's problem with the laugh track. Like every single line, I don't know.
I could see that, and I think there definitely are shows like that. I don't really get that from.
I think I don't really watch any show with a laugh track. I remember Katie used to watch Friends all the time, and I would watch it when it was on. Like if it was on, if the TV's on, I'll sit in front of it. I remember times laughing out loud at situations and stuff, but
Yeah. Same thing. I haven't watched Friends, but I've caught episodes. Same thing with Seinfeld. People are like, "You've never seen Seinfeld." I'm like, "I've seen episodes," and I laugh at some of the situations. But I mean, that's not Seinfeld to me. The episodes I've seen are not any better to me than the episodes of Big Bang Theory I've seen.
Right.
And it's like, and I did giggle at both. It's like I'm saying they're both fine.
I've never watched. I don't think I've ever seen one episode of Seinfeld, but I do love Curb Enthusiasm. My show was Scrubs. That was what I watched like nonstop, but that wasn't like a laugh track live studio audience thing. So
no, but something would happen, and then they would be like, "Don't down, down, down."
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's like they are
Scene
still
changing.
Next. All right, set that aside for a moment.
Now we're
Think
over
about these guys.
Now we're over here. Yeah, you're right. So, all right, Big Bang Theory. Damn.
I'm saying that knowing
coming.
that I only recently started admitting that my favorite movies are the National Treasure 1 and 2.
Yeah.
One of the biggest disappointments from Hollywood of my life is that they didn't make National Treasure 3.
It's crazy that I just like I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen National Treasure?
No, I have. I just not that many times, and like
it's my most watched movie.
When you said that, I was like, what? Like, yeah, the mystery, I guess.
It's got mystery. I love finding clues, especially clues that they've just put into the real world.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, it plays a little bit into the conspiracy, obviously. I love Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
I love regular looking people.
Nicolas Cage with hair looking for ancient secrets is definitely more attractive than Tom Hanks with hair looking for ancient secrets.
Okay, here's the thing. Tom Hanks, that hair was so bad. I will say
crazy.
I don't love Tom Hanks.
It looked like he looked like his head, like he's Hank Hill head when they put like a wig. Like if Hank Hill all of a sudden got a part in a different thing, and you're like,
it was like the worst looking toupee you could have. It was like, can you give me a toupee that only looks like I'm half bald, but I can grow the rest of it?
Here's the thing, Tom. We need you to have kind of shaggy hair for this role. There's no way we could write this character of like a, I don't know, church professor who doesn't have
and he's like,
kind
I'm
of liberal...
keeping my hairline though. And they're like, fine.
He's like, it's not gonna grow past here. They're like, well, we'll figure it out. And then they put a little, it's like a hair cape.
To be honest, I wish I have seen, what the fuck's it called? The Dan Brown, the Da Vinci Code?
The Dan Brown Code?
Dan Brown's the author.
Oh.
The Da Vinci Code, and honestly, I wish it's exactly everything I like. I wish it was my second National Treasure I got to watch, but it's just too religious. I hate that.
Yeah. I just, that guy who keeps whipping himself on the back, he's like, oh, whipping himself. Yeah, it just made me too horny.
Oh my God. Just proving Jesus is real and this is...
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just like can't.
Yeah. Angels and Demons.
It's like you couldn't put it in some like. I mean, literally just redo National Treasure. You can do
a
almost
third
like
one.
the same. Do a different monument.
Who is National Treasure? Whose treasure were they trying to find?
The Freemasons.
Okay, yeah.
And they were doing. That's the thing is they
the real
did.
Jesus.
They did take real. I mean, the clues are on things like the Liberty Bell and the dollar bill and the Library of Congress. And in the there was like a secret compartment in the desk.
They're like,
that's one of the I forget what they're called, but they're like these matching desks, and there's all these clues about him, and so he's got to sneak into the Oval Office and do this.
They're like,
it's awesome.
They're like, hold on, my neck, my back, my pussy, and my crack. There's a crack in the Liberty Bell. We gotta get to the Liberty Bell.
No.
And then
stealing the Declaration of Independence because there's an invisible map on the back. Are you fucking serious?
It is cool.
And I refuse to do
like
that as one of the things that I like that people hate because I refuse to believe people hate it.
That movie.
I think if you watch
people,
it,
I don't
you
think
would enjoy
people
it.
didn't pan those movies. They did well. And those two movies I think came out at the same time. I feel like that was one of those.
Where a studio's like, if you're doing it, I'm doing it too.
Yeah. But they're like, we're ours is more for God people. Well,
I mean, the Da Vinci Code was a huge book. And it's
true.
actually the second book in the series. Angels and Demons was first. And so it's like, oh, yeah, no wonder. That one's too religious. That one's like at the Vatican.
National Treasure is more like a Tomb Raider.
Yes.
It's like fun. Da Vinci Code's like, oh, St. Peter was real.
You know, I will say I did have fun watching Tomb Raider, and obviously Angelina Jolie is awesome and super hot, but I was like, you guys put too much effort into these video game boobies everyone wanted to see, and not enough effort into this other stuff.
Yeah.
I did think, though, Tomb Raider always had cool outfits. Obviously, she just wore shorts and a tank top, but like her winter outfit that was like a
the
fuzzy
sunglasses,
robe or something.
Still got little ass shorts on, but got a bomber jacket. Yeah, Lara Croft was my first crush.
Yeah. But so I do think those movies, were fun. I think they could have been great had they put a little bit less effort into. This lady looks exactly like Lara Croft.
Yeah, I think, Big Bang Theory was the biggest show. I think it is one of those things, though, where it is like, yeah, it's like people hate on it. It's almost like people hate on it because of success.
Yeah.
Also, it's like if everyone likes it, it's got to be stupid because stupid people who are like, I freaking love that show. And it's like, well, those jokes can't be hard to understand.
Some of these things I think are definitely going to be, the other day when we did the live one, that if you're not listening to this, hopefully you'll watch that.
Yeah. Wink.
But that guy had a great answer saying that he loved black licorice.
Yeah.
That was a great answer because that is something people just don't like.
Yeah.
And some of the things on here I feel like are going to be things that we like that other people don't like, but all relative to who we're around.
Right.
Comics hate the Big Bang Theory.
Comics hate the Big Bang Theory. They hate everything that's successful, even themselves, if they get to such a point.
And so that's something that sometimes I feel like, especially people we're around, is like they just can't enjoy some things. And I feel like I'm like simple. I understand why people like it. It does make me giggle, I'm not analyzing stuff so much.
Right.
And I feel like that's part of it. It is mindless TV, and to start thinking that it is something besides that crazy.
I don't watch any of it, but because I watch South Park, and I'm like, honestly, sitcom quips too long. I need jokes. I need jokes to literally be 2 seconds long.
Yeah.
Family Guy, Simpsons.
I liked Family Guy.
Except Simpsons, people started to hate on. And they're like, oh, it sucks ever since season whatever. And I mean, everything that was ever good is people are just going to say it sucks. And
I
looking
love
back,
The Simpsons.
like, The Simpsons can last so long because it's a cartoon, because they don't age, but they don't have like other, people. Like Big Bang Theory can't go on for 30 years.
Yeah.
We just watch these people grow old. That'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah, seriously. I do love The Simpsons. The Simpsons got great little jokes all throughout. I repeat Simpsons jokes all the time.
Yeah.
I love the
But
Simpsons.
I do think that sometimes there's like shows that like Simpsons and Futurama and like cartoons or just a show that doesn't have a laugh track, you feel more like uh prestigious. What is the word I'm looking for? Where you're almost like conceited about. I get the hate of laugh pretentious, right?
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, I don't need someone to tell me where to laugh. Like people wouldn't know to even laugh here.
Yeah, but I will say that on cartoons, they're making all of the sounds, so I feel like they kind of fill in areas that when it's like two people, it would be weird for them to just pause and look at each other.
Well, there's not just like boink, boink. They're not like doing every.
Kinda. They kinda do. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, SpongeBob maybe, but like, I mean, yeah, those have to be cartoons. Just have to be more obvious about. I'm saying I'm siding with you, saying that laugh tracks get an unfair flack because it's not. It does just like everything has the rhythm where so you know where to laugh.
Something that I feel like Simpsons gets hate for is that they're like, they act like the ideas aren't original because they're doing like on topic.
Yeah.
You know, like there's an episode where like Marge drives for Lyft.
Right.
But it's like that. I'm like, yeah, that's like the whole thing is that they're a regular family.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are you hating on because now she's like using this modern thing?
Yeah, everyone just hates everything.
And they're like, it's so not creative. And it's like, what did you want her to make up a different driving service?
Yeah. It is fun watching those cartoons. I mean, look, the 90s versions of South Park and Simpsons, the stories weren't from headlines. They were bizarre. I mean, a little bit, but bizarre cartoon stories that were crazy and yeah, but then it was based around like a regular family.
But I felt like there was always topical things within the episode. I mean, now you see those memes all the time where it's like, The Simpsons predicted the future. And it's just like, no, the government's just actually not that different from what it was. Yeah. And they're like, you know, it's like, there have always been these possibilities. And so it's like, they don't like commentate on it. It's just a family who's also living within a normal.
Yeah.
Within the world. And then they get a little crazier from there, but I feel like that's always the basis.
Is Big Bang Theory your favorite laugh track show? Like if it came down to like picking a mindless show that wasn't a criminal show.
No, it's the Golden Girls.
Oh, Golden Girls. Okay. Yeah.
I love the Golden Girls, and sometimes it makes me laugh just because the Golden Girls literally makes me laugh out loud so much. If you watch me watch an episode of Golden Girls, I'm fucking giggling.
I remember you watching it all the time. It was on all the time.
I remember when I used to watch it and Nick would see me watching it and he would be like, I can't believe you're laughing this much. It's like the most I laugh. But I do love them. I also think it's hilarious that they're in like the same situations. Literally, it's the same things you see on TV shows today. Except for you got these old ass ladies. And yeah, you know, now you look back and it's like they're in their 50s and now 50-year-olds look like Jennifer Lopez.
Isn't that crazy?
But it's like, you know, at the time for them to be acting like that is just, it's like they're dating realistic men.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. It makes it seems so real.
Yeah. They always like, and wow. They walk in a room and they're like, wow, you're so hot. And I'm like,
they're wearing like
a flower flowing blouse.
Mother of the Bride crazy dress.
They're like, wow, you got your whore earrings on. They're like just extra large pearls.
Literally.
Yeah. Wow, you look like it. And then you got the little lady. You look like a slut. Everyone's like, whoa. Old ladies talking like this. Cool,
and it's like they're literally doing some of the same jokes you see on shows, but I'm like, this was like original at this time.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of a funny, because I mean, now we've just seen it in so many different ways. I just watched a clip where they were like, Blanche was trying to make Sophia, the old lady, jealous. Blanche is the slut, and they're fighting over this old guy. And she's like, Blanche comes out trying to look sexy, you know, and Dorothy's like, you know the rules. When when mom's out with Fidel, you don't interfere, and when you're out with Fidel, she doesn't interfere. And so then Blanche is like, is saying like, all right, I'll just be in my room. I'm gonna take a warm bath with just enough water to cover my perky bosoms. And she's like, and Sophia goes, you're only gonna sit in an inch of water.
Damn. Remember the jokes.
I just watched it, but I have seen them several times. Yeah,
So
those are the two things I watch: Golden Girls and National Treasure 1 and 2.
We should watch National Treasure. I haven't watched it in a while.
Now that we're talking about it, I'm like, next time I clean, I'm gonna put it on.
I don't know if I've seen the second one.
We used to have Disney Plus. I don't feel like I can log into Mom's Disney
I have
Plus
it. I have it for a couple more weeks.
Do ya?
I accidentally
Ooh.
let it fucking. I forgot to cancel it. Watched all those Marvel movies.
Oh yeah.
And I wanted to.
Nice. Well, we can watch National Treasure.
Nice. That was a good one. Golden Girls.
I feel like everyone loves the Golden Girls.
Yeah, people don't hate on it. See, that's the thing. Everything that stopped in the 90s, people don't hate on.
Yeah.
It's after 2000s, millennials, our peers.
They even tried to have a spin-off after because B. Arthur, who played Dorothy, didn't want to be on it anymore. And so funny, people are always talking about how she was always so upset because all of her jokes were about her looks. And I'm like, all right, you guys are like thinking too much. It's still a TV show.
Yeah.
And but anyway, so they had a spin-off with Sophia and Blanche and Rose, and they bought a hotel, the Golden Palace. And so they're running this hotel, and Don Cheadle is like the front desk guy. And then Cheech Marin, I think that's his name from Cheech and Chong, is like the kitchen guy.
Oh, wow.
There's only one season. Okay. Only one season, yeah, but I've seen most of it. It's obviously not the same, but it's like, the same characters. It's funny.
Nice little bit of closure to be like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with these old bags.
They were probably disappointed. They were like, damn, we do need B.
Yeah, we need a woman who at least looks like a man to make this work.
She's funny.
Rest in peace. Right? She died.
They're all dead.
They're all dead.
Yeah.
Well, good riddance.
I mean, they would be. Betty White was fucking 99 when she died.
Yeah.
She
was wasn't she the oldest one?
I don't think so. I think I don't think she was the oldest. But Estelle Getty was the youngest who played the oldest one, Sophia. Right. But I mean, they would be so fucking old. Let's see. Rue McClanahan, who played Blanche, the slut, she died in 2010. She was only 76. And I feel like if you don't make it to 80 now, you say only. It's young to die before 80 now, I feel like.
Yeah. Damn. Before 80? That seems crazy. Once people are in their 70s, I'm like, any minute now.
Let's see. Estelle Getty passed away in 2008 at the age of 84. Dorothy B. Arthur. I don't know why it doesn't just say it. Oh, that's why. Because it goes to their character. She died in 2009 at the age of 86. And then I was like, why isn't it telling me their ages? I'm clicking on their character names and not their fucking actress names. Betty White died in 2021 at the age of 99.
Damn. Betty White.
She was only 2 weeks away, I think, from being 100. People magazine. I actually own this People magazine. Nick's a little bit of a collector, so sometimes. One time there was this book that was self-published, but it was just really popular. And I was like, I don't know, I feel like this book's going to be worth something. And then it did get picked up by a publisher. So I bought 3 copies, and then we sold 1 copy. They were $15, and we sold 1 copy for $75.
Wow.
And then I kept one that I didn't touch, and I read one. But now it's been republished, so it came in like a fancy book. The problem is, I was like, it's gonna be a trilogy, and I was like, if this is the first book was really good, and then I was like, if the next two are good, it's definitely gonna be made into a movie, and the next two are fucking bad.
Oh.
It was hard to get. I don't think I even got all the way through the second one, and I didn't read the third one.
What was it called?
The first one was called the Atlas Six,
Mm.
but it was basically like the secret society. 6 people were chosen for the secret society. They were like Medians, which were like magical people who lived within the real world. And so basically they had like the secret society that protected stuff. Like it was like alluded to that like stuff from like the Library of Alexandria, that famous library that burned down way a long time ago in ancient Rome or whatever, was like this, the secrets were held there and it was there. And so you were like, you go through all these people's lives, and then they were like, you guys are all brought into this society, but only 5 of you will continue on, because they were going to have to kill one of them, and they knew that from the outset. And it was so good. And then yeah, the next one was just like so bad. Because you kind of had to tiptoe around the magic because it didn't really make sense, you know, but they were kind of creating this world. And then I feel like the second one, she really tried to kind of explain some of the magic, and you were like, okay.
No thanks. The second in a series always is the worst.
Yeah, it's tough.
Because they got to be like, here's a little bit of backstory about what you just read. And you're like, no. I'm trying to get the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Don't backstory me.
Yeah, too much.
I hate that.
It's just like, keep it going. I don't need to know. But yeah, they did have crazy magical powers, which are interesting. Like one guy's thing was that his was tough because he never got good sleep, so his like life was kind of bad and would fall apart. But his thing was that he could go within a dream realm, so he could like visit you while you were sleeping. And then they would like, his mom was like a criminal, and they would like commit crimes that way, being in people's minds.
Sounds stupid. Please tell me more now. Tell me more about the books that couldn't produce 2 more good ones.
No, couldn't.
This in-depth story.
Couldn't, but
He
the
was
first
like,
one was good.
Yeah, was it called, there was this Netflix thing like the Dream God, or Dream, with like the devils and angels, and
Oh, I don't know.
there's a guy, he's like the Lord of Sleep or some shit. I don't remember.
You know, I feel like it's really tough to make a show or something about dreams, because ultimately, what are you just explaining your dream to somebody? That's the worst conversation you can have with somebody.
Like,
and it's over.
Wall
End of the episode. Bye, peas.
Yeah, I guess we could do that.
What do you want to do? Play some smooth jazz and we'll kind of cha-cha.
I mean, it's like, you know, you kind of, all right. So we're pro laugh tracks. We're pro laugh track shows.
Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with a laugh track. I don't know why it matters.
Yeah, no, and we like Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. Yeah, the broad one is laugh track shows.
Specifically, yeah, you had to ease yourself into admitting you like Big Bang Theory.
I do, and that's the thing too. Is
if our peers found out.
I guess it's hard to say laugh track shows because I have seen a lot of shows on TV that I would never watch. But that doesn't mean people don't watch them. But I feel like specifically people really hate Big Bang Theory, and I do think that one is good. So I feel like it's that one.
People do hate on it, but for it being the biggest show of all time, it is hated on.
Yeah.
A lot. Just like Nickelback.
It's like it's kind of like the butt of the joke.
Yeah, totally. All right, P Freaks. Tune in next week. Tune in next week.
Snake jazz.